Hey everybody, it's EdTheTrainer. Welcome back. It's special guest week this week on Tips on Tuesday. Hey everybody, we're extremely excited this week to have with us as a special guest Mark Harris, who is the Appraisal Manager for NLC Loans. Mark, welcome, and I know you've got some gems to share with us.
Thanks, Ed, for having me on this week. Again, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Mark Harris. I'm the Appraisal Manager here at NLC Loans. One of the main things that I do is the appraisal review. So when an appraisal comes in short, what my responsibility is to try to find ways to get the appraiser to consider increasing the value, whether that be through additional comparables or by elements within the appraisal. I've also been a fee appraiser for about 18 years, and in 18 years I've pretty much seen everything that you could possibly see. And there are certain elements that I always found that help me get a better feel for the property that the appraiser is looking at. And I want to go over a few of these things that we can extend to our borrowers to allow them to be able to maximize the value of their homes. The first thing I'd like to touch on is cleanliness. I've gone through about 300 appraisals here since in the 6 months that I've been here. And one of the things I found is that appraisals that have depressed values are typically homes where the upkeep isn't as good as it could be. So one of the things you want to tell your borrower to do is to clean their house. And not just the main rooms, the appraiser is going to go everywhere. So every single room, whether it be the kids' room, the living room, the basement, should be as clean as possible, and also should allow the appraiser to get access to every part of the home. The next thing I want to touch on is what I call fixing the small stuff. Something that an appraiser looks for is how well does the owner maintain their home. And so what you need to do is to tell your borrowers, look, all those loose doorknobs, all those catches on the cabinetry that need to be replaced, little touch-up paint items, they all need to be addressed, because what the appraiser is going to think is if this person isn't taking care of loose doorknobs, missing cabinetry hardware and things that are so small like that, what's going on with the big stuff? The third thing I want to touch on is promoting your work. And what I mean by promoting your work is if the owner has done work to the property over the past few years, to write all that out and to present that to the appraiser. If they've remodeled the kitchen, if they've remodeled a bathroom, if they've done all exterior paint, replaced the roof. Major items like that are very important. The appraiser isn't going to know that unless the owner tells him. And this will help you, increase your value because there is value to doing these things. Secondarily, when they're comparing other properties in the market, be able to maximize condition adjustment.
Those are all huge keys, Mark, and I'm sure there are also some important things to consider outside of the home as well, aren't there?
The next couple items aren't necessarily specific to the home, but specific to the market. And the next thing I want to touch on is to have your owner actually drive around their neighborhood and get an idea of what properties are being listed in their market at the time. How would they compare their home to the homes that are being listed, and how much are those listings going for? This gives your borrower a better expectation as to what the actual value or what the selling price would be of their home. Understand, an appraisal is nothing more than the reflection of a buyer put down on paper. So the appraisal is really a sales contract, and your borrower has an opinion of what their home might be, but it's not really until they go into the market that they really get a true understanding of what the achievable price is for their home and really telling them what their home is worth. One last thing I want to touch on, and this is specific to purchase transactions. If your borrower is purchasing a property and this appraisal is taking place, you want the borrower to be there. You want the borrower to have some contact with the appraiser. And what's important about this, there may be elements about the sale that is not going to be relative to the contract. And I'll give an example. I just recently purchased a home myself. The person from whom I purchased the home was divorcing and moved out of state. So this person wanted to get rid of the house. Now there's no way that the appraiser would know that without me telling them. And that type of sale condition indicates to the appraiser that I might have bought my property for less than what it's worth. So even though there's a contract, you might have elements of your sale that would be reflected in the appraisal that would mitigate other circumstances with those comparables that might bring your sale price or your appraised value below the sale price. So these are the elements that I want you to try to bring to your borrowers. I've prepared a document, and that document is available on the NLC intranet and will also be available to each of the branches. Thank you very much for giving me the time, Ed, and I take it back to you.
Mark, great tips. And again, thanks very much for joining us this week. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks again, Ed. Had a lot of fun doing this and hope to see everyone again soon.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, our special guests do nothing but knock it out of the park. We hope you've learned something here. We hope you have a great week, and we'll see you soon.